All right. Looks like it's working. Let's see. Okay. So, I've never multi streamed from my phone. But I guess it's important. Hmm. So, um, obviously, I haven't got out of bed yet. Uh, and here's the thing, right? Um, the reason I'm doing this is because you know how they say you should journal when you wake up. I I thought I would just instead of trying to write everything down, I thought I would just go ahead and just do it like this because I think it's important. A lot of people have been going through a lot of stuff lately, including me, and I think as the individual goes, so goes the collective. So I think it's important to share code and experiences because that is code. Now, a lot of people have made reference to they made reference to dream state, lucid dreams. I should have drank some water. Um, and mine have been really, really significant, and I can remember them with a great amount of clarity, more and more as time goes on. So, what happened first? There's two parts to this. One part is about dream state, lucid dreams, and a very important message I feel that has come in that isn't just me, that it has to do with other people as well. And this one, I think, also has to do with the expansion of our uh, masculine, which would mean a lot of men, but I think it would also mean a significant number of women. I don't know. I'm just sharing it, right? So, and then the second part is about something that's happening uh, to my physical body um, that I think must be happening to other people, or maybe people can um, add some information to it. And then I'll share some information I stumbled across yesterday. Okay, so the first thing that happens, or the first thing that I was going to talk about, is that wait a minute. Okay, the first thing, I've never done this before. I'll hold it like this. Okay, so for a long time, and I don't even know um, for how long or how many times, I have had this lucid dream, and I will bet you it has to be at least that I can remember, probably 50 times. And the dreams, they aren't always the same, but they always take place in the same place, right? And they've happened so many times that I actually had to um, really think about it this morning. When I woke up, I had to think about I had to think about did this place really exist? So my battery's going down, so I'm going to have to move this along. All right. So, but most of the time, the dream has been about this place, right? So there's this big house, this big 2-story house that I live in, right? That these dreams would take place. But inside of the house, there was a secret house inside of the house, and that people would come over to this house, which was my house, and they would see the the house like a normal house. But in this house, there was like three doors, three hidden doors, three different passageways, three, which is important, and those passageways would lead to this secret house within the house. And so nobody had ever been inside the secret part of the house. Now this all just came to a head today. And again, I'm telling this because I think it must have some kind of significance about something going on, because I've always understood that as the individual goes, so goes the collective. And you can see that in what people post and what they write. All right. So what happened in this dream, in this lucid dream, like I went to bed at 6 and I woke up at 9:30. So what happened that was important was, in this dream, I opened the secret part of the house to two women. One woman was uh, the mother, and the other woman was, like, well, it would be like, I don't know, like the sister. It would be like the sister, or the partner, like the mother's daughter. Let's put it that way, because I want to keep it non-personal. All right. So for the first time ever, um, I opened up the secret house within the house to, specifically, the mother and the mother's daughter, the energy of the mother and the mother's daughter. So you might say, for example, the energy of Mother Mary, if that helps you, and let's say Mary Magdalene, right? Or you could say my own mother and Morgan, or Mother Goddess and Morgan, but anyway, energetically speaking, it was obvious to me, the masculine opening the secret house within the external house. So I think for some reason that's important, and I don't really know exactly why. But I think it's important. And we had a show last night with Alan W. Johnson. And for some reason, I think that show has something to do with it. It was an incredible show. Something's happening. Uh, there's real movement, I think, in the masculine energy. Um, and I won't like make that unique to just the men, but I think for the most part, that's where it is, which makes sense. Um, but anyway, I just think it's really important because, and even if it's not a masculine thing, or it's a soul thing, uh, if I'm getting, I mean, I'm telling you, this house, and it's a white house, by the way. It's a white house on the exterior, and the walls are white. And inside the house, that's not secret, is really like all these ancient tapestries and ancient furniture from like all periods of time. There's also like scarlet tapestries and golden vessels and golden like things that you lay around the house. I don't know what you call it, right? It's golden stuff. And then in the secret part of the house, which nobody had ever seen until I let this mother and the mother's daughter in this when I was asleep. That's the first time anyone's ever been in the house, and they were female. Now in this secret part of the house, in previous dreams, I would always be working on certain things. Well, a couple of things. One, I would be working on like makes my arm hurt. I'd be working on like creating stuff. And then the other thing I would be doing is I would be specifically hiding. So I'd be like making things, like just different inventions and maybe cooking or, just creating things, right? And then also, hang on. And then also, I would sometimes be hiding, or I'd go there to hide. And nobody ever knew about it till last night, until this energy of the mother and the mother's daughter came in. And I showed them around the whole place, and I showed them all my treasures, um, and I basically entrusted them to look at all my stuff, and I entrusted them not to take anything because I had like a lot of really special furniture and special jewels and just like just incredible things like artifacts of but they're my artifacts, right? And then the most incredible thing, which I don't remember ever seeing in the secret part of the house, which obviously represents something in the soul that hasn't been divulged, or to me that hasn't been shared because there was a fear of sharing it or something like that. But the most impressive thing was like this giant, like say it was about 20 feet long, like for people in the metric system, like I believe that'd be like, I want to say like that would be like what? Oh my God, I don't know what it would be. I think it would be like 6 meters, right? 6 meters. So so basically, it was this really really long, like 20-foot long scroll, and the scroll had you know how like if you build a house, you have a blueprint of the house, and it's layers or pages and pages, and one's the electrical, and one's the plumbing, and one's structural, and so one's heat and air, and so on. So it would be like multiple pages. Well, this giant scroll, which wasn't made of paper, it was made of like a papyrus or a leather, more like a leather. It was a leather. Now I think about it, it was a leather. So it was like 20 feet long, and this thing, if that were true, would probably weigh like 600 or even more, like maybe 800 pounds, 1,000 pounds. It would weigh a lot because it would be leather, and it's leather. So I remember in the dream showing the mother that was the like the schematic or the blueprint, the blueprint, the blueprint of the house, both what was on the outside, which was the part of the house in 50 lucid dreams that people had seen, but more importantly, it was showing the inside, the secret part of the house. And I was showing the mother, uh, and the energy that I'm calling like the mother's daughter. So it'd almost be like, to use a metaphor, would be like the Father. We're more familiar with this, like the Father, like Father God and Jesus, right? But this was the mother goddess and her daughter. So I think it's important. Two things. One is that it's the first time, and I'm guessing 50 lucid dreams I could recall, that this house was there, that I ever showed anyone the inside of the house, or the secret part of the house, which is my place where I create things and where I go to be in solitude, and maybe in some of the dreams to hide. But I think the significant thing is that I showed the secret part of the house not just to anyone, but to feminine feminine uh, energies, aspects. I didn't show them to the father or the son. I showed them to the mother and the mother's daughter, the feminine energy, in the secret part of my house, a house that's been in 50 lucid dreams, where I go to create and to be in solitude and to hide. So there's got to be some significance to that. And the other thing that's been happening for about, hang on, for, let's see, about, let's say about maybe 5 days. It's been really weird. And this is with the physical body. But in the back of the skull, like where your spine goes into the brain, basically, right? Into the skull. Like if you've traced your vertebrae up, and then you can feel where it kind of goes into the brain stem, I guess. I've had this crazy sensation, like a flap, right? Like a flap. That's the only way I can explain it. Um, I've had some, like, it's hard to explain, but I've had like physical, like if you get like a crick, something like that, but it doesn't hurt. It's a little bit tender, but it doesn't hurt. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because of two reasons. One, it feels like a flap, and sometimes it opens and sometimes it's not open. And two, I've had, as a lot of people have had, a lot of different physical um, sensations and happenings in the body as time has gone on that have been accelerating. And there seems to be some type of relation between the activity of this flap and the sensations, which I can only, that happen all over my body, particularly my feet, my hands, my fingertips, my toes, my legs, and then sometimes other parts of the body, including my eyes and stuff like that. Now, okay. Um, okay. Now, the other thing that seems to be happening in association with this flap, that's the only way I can describe it, and I'd love to get some feedback from people, is I would say like, uh, mm, I guess psychic stuff, you know, um, telepathy, intuition, uh, empath sensitivities. Um, I did that show last night I was telling you about with Alan Day, Alan W. Johnson, and I literally had an experience with him for an hour and a half that was like just a total merging, I guess, is the only way I can describe it. So, anyway, other things would be like glimpses into what I'm doing in other dimensions, uh, a level of intuition, telepathy, and communication with other souls, and it's been happening at a very well. It's been happening for about 5 days, and it's been validated, or there has been stuff correlating or coinciding with it in ways outside of me. As example, through other people telling me, "Hey, um, telling me this or telling me that," and I remember. And I mean, like, you came and handed me an onk, or you did this or that, um, and I'm remembered, and it's weird. So I just wanted to share these two things because I think people are going through a lot of stuff, uh, and I just think it's important, and maybe it'll help somebody, and maybe they'll be able to put something in the comments or something to give more pieces to the puzzle. And this is the first time I ever used my phone to multi-stream. So, you I know I'm in bed and I haven't washed my face, but I'll probably go back to sleep. But, so anyway, just to review, if you just got here and you want to listen to it again, I've had a lucid dream of a particular place, this White House, about, I'm guessing, about 50 times. A place where I would go to create things and where I would go to be in solitude and to hide. And so there'd be other like storylines in these dreams, but the house was always there. In this house, there's a secret house. I'm talking uh, like a big house, right? And with incredible stuff inside of it. So I was just saying that I just woke up and total recall, which has been happening with a lot of people with lucid dreams lately, and I let the mother, well, I let the feminine. I didn't. I let someone into the secret part of the house for the first time ever, I think that's significant, not because it's me, but because I think it means something's going on with the collective. But it was me, a masculine energy, letting the mother energy and the mother's daughter energy into the secret part of the house. So there's something going on with that. And then the second thing I was saying was there's like this flap the last 5 days in the back of my skull, just probably around where the brainstem is. It's kind of like the center of the skull, back a little bit and down. And this flap seems to be correlated with, I would just say, light body uh, part of the sensations that are coming from the light body, from the body transforming into crystalline, that a lot of people have been feeling, such as just weird sensations on your fingertips and your toes and your legs and this and that. Um, and that also, it seems to be, and even more so, seems to be kind of like um, coinciding with an increase in psychic abilities, intuition, telepathy, um, and other things that I could probably explain better when I wake up. So, anyway, I hope this helps, and I hope that more people come out and talk about. Uh, they talk about their lives, talk about their experiences, and we just put these pieces of the puzzle together. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you later. I never used this before, so I gotta figure out how to turn it off. I don't know how it turns off. Oh, here it is. I'll see y'all later. Have a good day.